I'm here to set the record straight about how to really use offshore bank accounts and offshore companies because I'm tired of people giving you the wrong advice. No names, but here's an ad I came across online for someone who wants to promote their offshore bank account solution. And there's a number of issues here that I think we can learn from. The ad says, "Hi, overseas business owners. If you think keeping your assets in an offshore private bank account is safe from authorities monitoring, think again." And so already we're off to a bad start because the idea here is suggesting that by banking offshore, you're trying to hide your money. That's not how it's supposed to work. And I'm going to tell you what you should be thinking instead. If it's your first time here, I'm Andrew Henderson, founder of Nomad Capitalist. We're a boutique consulting firm that helps 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs and investors legally, keyword legally, go where you're treated best so that you can have your diversified offshore finances, you can reduce your taxes, you can get a second citizenship, and you can be in control of your own life in these crazy times, but you can do so and stay out of trouble. You can learn more at nomadcapitalist.com. So this ad is saying that if you think that your money is safe from authorities monitoring, think again. Now, the concept of bank privacy in a country like the United States never really existed. The Bank Secrecy Act basically says you have no secrecy, right? Other countries have chipped away at that because they want more information sharing. And so the idea that your money is going to sit in the bank and no one's going to know, you set up companies, the bank is going to want to know who's the ultimate beneficial owner. No matter how many companies you layer in there, who's the ultimate beneficial owner? Who's the person involved in this? Let's make sure that person's clean before we take their money. And so there's information sharing with both FATCA if you're a U.S. person, the common reporting standard for most folks around the world these days if you are not a U.S. person, and so information gets shared. Bank privacy has some validity if the bankers in your country are used to sharing it with the local cartel, for example, and you don't want them to know because there's a personal safety reason. But if you're talking about the authorities, as in the tax authorities, knowing where your money is, you should accept that they're going to know where your money is. There are a few countries in the world that have not signed up for all this information sharing. There are probably a couple that have signed up that are doing it very badly and making mistakes. But the idea about having an offshore bank account is about having diversification and about having asset protection, not about hiding anything. As one person says, we're not talking about hide and seek, we're talking about show and tell. If you are, for example, an American, whether you're a citizen, whether you're a green card holder, you have an obligation, even if you spend too much time living in the United States, you've got the obligation to report all those foreign bank accounts, all of your foreign financial accounts, and I highly suggest you do so. Get someone who is an expert in international tax and report those. Some other countries have the same requirements, not all do, but if you're using an account to hide your money or to avoid tax, it's not going to work. Let's continue with the ad. Back when, if we do not want to get taxed so much, it works by diversifying our assets to overseas. This is obviously not a native English operation they're running here. But lately, with the invention of a new system, no matter where you place your assets today, the authorities are still able to trace them. That means even in an offshore private bank, it's transparent. So let's just be clear. Private bank doesn't really mean it's private like nobody knows about it. Private banking is about investment banking, higher quality of service, more accessibility. All right, so there's private banks, there's what I would call priority banks, which are kind of like higher service levels, and then there's just kind of regular mass market banking. So, don't look for bank accounts where they're necessarily private. There's no more numbered bank accounts. Even setting up companies, even if to the extent that there are any companies, which there really aren't by and large, where you don't have to disclose your ownership, the bank is still going to want to know. So even if you open up one of these anonymous, Wyoming LLCs, the bank's going to be like, great, tell us who owns the company. Now, you can have a director or something, but really the bank's supposed to know who owns the company. And so as the goody two-shoes of the offshore industry, I'm telling you, if you're doing things properly, somebody is going to know. And by the way, in the United States, even if for some reason the bank doesn't know, you've got to now file, if you own a U.S. LLC and you're offshore, you've got to file Form 5472. Not giving you tax advice, just saying that's what it is. And so then you're eventually, it's going to be figured out. So if we don't want to be taxed so much, let's understand what an offshore bank account does. There are some countries where tax is done on remittance. Generally speaking, for foreigners who go there and sign up for, let's say, like a non-dom tax program. And under these programs, you may have a business offshore. Generally speaking, in these kinds of programs, there aren't so many restrictions on where the business can be. So the business can be in a zero tax jurisdiction. It makes $10 million a year. But you need to bring in $200,000 a year to live, and that $200,000 a year may be taxed as it would for anybody else. And so you pay $100,000 in tax, but that's on basically the whole $10 million. The rest, the $9.8 million, stays outside of that jurisdiction because you're just living there as a non-domiciled resident. So you have programs of that nature. But people look at that and they say, oh, well, as long as I don't bring the money into my country, I don't pay. It's generally not speaking how it works. If you live in the United States, Canada, Australia, generally speaking, in most situations, right, if whether you earn the money or not, or whether you bring the money into the country, they're still going to try and tax it because you're running a business from their country, because your country has the minded management or a permanent establishment, or it's a controlled foreign corporation. There's different ways, different standards to meet. So the idea that, oh, I'm just going to keep my money in my Belize corporation and not bring it back to the U.S., people still think that stops them. It doesn't. And so, sure, the Belize company, if you're living in the United States, may have some asset protection, right? It may make it harder to do business because most people don't generally trust Belize companies. They have a pretty bad reputation. But sure, having your money outside, I mean, you're going to be kind of stuck with Belize bank accounts because most places in the world don't want to take Belize companies, maybe a few offshore banks. But there's no real benefit to that in terms of if we don't want to be taxed so much. How you reduce tax is you follow my tax-friendly quadrant. Where are you as an individual leaving, as in a high-tax country, and where are you arriving, as in a low-tax, tax-free, tax-friendly country? Where's your business leaving? So if it's incorporated in the U.S., you may need to move that, Canada, Germany, whatever. You need to figure out how do you move that out to a zero-tax jurisdiction that's compliant with your personal tax-friendly jurisdiction. And so the offshore bank account, generally speaking, is not what actually helps you. There can be some asset protection having your money overseas. That's one big reason to have an offshore bank account, because you want to save money. You want to protect your money. You want it to be in a stronger bank. Maybe you want to hold it in a different currency. Maybe you think, hey, it's one extra level of protection if someone wants to come and get it. It's not just one fat-fingered keystroke. Right? If you've ever had money for taxes that you already paid taken on a second time because the tax man screwed up, you realize, hey, yes, pay your bills, yes, be an upstanding citizen, but maybe make it a little bit harder than someone pushing a button by mistake to take your money. That's the benefit of offshore. Not that you're not going to pay tax, and not that being offshore just on paper is going to reduce your tax. It's not about just moving your assets anymore. You need to actually move yourself, generally speaking. And so I would imagine anyone who's looking at an ad on Facebook is in that position where, yes, you need to actually go overseas. So yes, there are some places where you can benefit from remittance-based taxation, but that's not really what we're talking about here. The authorities can check your accounts without consent at any time. Yeah, probably generally true in most places. And all your transaction information will be seen. Sure. Listen, I'm all for privacy. And so I don't want to go totally off the rails and say, yes, share everything, right? I mean, look at certain countries in Scandinavia where they publish who paid what. Obviously, I don't believe in that. And even some places, like if you set up a company in the UK, I mean, they publish a bunch of information, how profitable the company is. We have a company in our network, which is a very small company, and we offered a guy a job. He said, yeah, I can't work here because I can't get a loan because the information on your profitability is published, at least internally. It's accessible through credit bureaus, and your company is like no profit. It's like, yeah, this particular company in the organization has a very small profit. That's the role that it plays. And so that person didn't want to work there, but yeah, the banks could see that information. That's one reason why you certainly segregate your stuff in a corporate structure, right? So in that country, they don't see what our entire company is doing. They see what's happening in that particular country and the money that we move in to pay employees there. And so privacy is important, but this idea that we're trying to hide everything from everybody is going to get in your way, quite frankly, if you take it to the extremes. And then the ad says, once you're suspected by the authorities, there's a chance when they might ask for relevant documents and you're in deep trouble for not being able to produce them. And yeah, we are seeing that right now, like in the UK with a couple different things. If you had accounts at a certain offshore bank who were suspected of not paying their bills, the UK is sending what's called nudge letters. Hey, make sure that you filed your tax returns appropriately. Like, don't hide money from us, right? And then they're doing it with people who own offshore companies. So sure, if you have unreported bank accounts, you should definitely talk to, if your country requires you to report them, you should be talking to a tax attorney. And that's where I would refer someone who comes and says, I'm not in compliance, because I don't want to necessarily get involved in that. So the issue is, Understand that people are going to know to some extent where your money is. We're not trying to hide our money from the government. We're trying to make it a little bit harder to get to. We're trying to diversify. We're trying to take advantage of better opportunities. We are trying to be spread out in different parts of the world. What you're going to do to save taxes is more on where you are personally set up, your personal tax home, where your corporate structure lives. That's where you want to spend your efforts. People think that banking is far too powerful. And so if you spend your efforts on moving your money around, you're not going to be spending your efforts on what you actually need to, which is how to properly structure yourself in a legal way for taxes so that you really don't have to worry about the tax man coming after you, because that's the goal. Hard to enjoy all that extra money if you're constantly looking behind your shoulder.